In the far side of the galaxy, there was a place known as the Void Zone. This place was quiet, dark, and full of mystery. No ships passed through it. No signals came from it. The stars around it seemed cold and still. For many years, the alien races of the galaxy stayed away. They believed nothing lived there. They believed it was empty. One day, the TAKZ Empire picked up a strange signal from the edge of the Void Zone. The signal was not strong, but it was there. It repeated over and over, like a message waiting to be heard. Commander Luron, a high officer of the TAKZ, was sent to check it. Commander Luron stood inside the command deck of his ship, the Risen Flame. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. Around him, the crew worked fast, their hands moving over the controls. The ship moved closer to the Void Zone. As they got near, the signal grew louder, but the message was still not clear. "Slow the ship," Luron said. "Scan again. Look for any life." The crew followed his orders. They scanned, they waited. But the machine started to fail. The lights blinked. The screens froze. One by one, the systems stopped working. "Sir," said one of the officers, "we are losing power. Scans are not showing anything." Luron looked at the dark space ahead. He did not like it. Something felt wrong. He knew the stories. Long ago, there were talks of monsters from dark planets. But those were only old tales. Suddenly, one of the screens turned on. A blurry image appeared. It was hard to see at first, but as the picture cleared, Luron saw them. Tall figures. Their armor was black and strong. Faces were hidden by shadows. They walked slowly, but their steps were full of power. Behind them, more shapes moved. "Who are they?" someone asked. No one answered. The image lasted only for a few seconds. Then it was gone. The screen went black. The signal stopped. The ship shook. Lights went off. In the last moment, before everything turned to silence, the ship sent one final message back to the TAKZ Empire. The message had no words, only the image. The tall, dark figures stepping out from the shadows. Back on the TAKZ homeworld, the image caused panic. Leaders met in secret rooms. They looked at the picture again and again. Fear filled their hearts. Some of them remembered the old name for these beings, Deathworlders. No one had seen them for ages. Some believed they were myths. Others thought they were all gone. Now it seemed they were back. Across the galaxy, other alien worlds received the same image. The same fear spread like a storm. Ships were told to stay away from the Void Zone. The Galactic Council called for a full meeting. Every leader came. No one wanted to believe it, but all of them knew. The Deathworlders had returned. On Earth's prime, deep under its surface, strong machines started to move. Cryopods opened with a hiss. Inside them, humans began to wake. Their bodies were strong, their eyes full of fire. One of them, a man named Ryan, stepped out first. He looked around and saw others waking up. "Time to move," he said. Next to him, Nora stretched her arms. Leo picked up a metal case. Maya checked the control panel. Ethan stood by the door, ready for orders. They all knew what was happening. They had been trained for it. Long ago, they were placed in sleep, waiting for a day like this. Now, that day had come. In the shadows of the galaxy, the Deathworlders were awake again. And the aliens were right to be afraid. The image of the Deathworlders spread across the galaxy like a dark wind. Every alien world watched it in silence. Some leaders tried to hide it. Others held secret meetings. But no one could stop the fear. Faces of the tall warriors, hidden in armor, burned into the minds of all who saw them. On the planet Revelon, the Galactic Council met inside a tall tower of glass and steel. The hall was full of voices. Leaders from many worlds stood around a long table. Their skins, scales, and eyes showed their different races. But they all looked worried. "You must act now," said Elder Roll from the Frel Dominion. "They will not stop. We remember what happened last time. That was 1,000 years ago," said Wura, leader of the Varn clans. "It may be different now." "Or worse," said another. "They survived the Dark War. They destroyed the old empires. They were sent into sleep because we could not defeat them, and now they are awake." The room went quiet. Fear was stronger than reason. The leaders could not agree. Some wanted to attack. Some wanted to talk. Others wanted to run. No one knew what the Deathworlders wanted. Back on Earth's prime, Ryan walked through the halls of the underground base. Lights turned on as he passed. Old machines woke with deep hums. Walls opened to reveal weapons and tools. "How long have we slept?" Ryan asked. Nora checked a panel. "Almost 1,000 years. That long," Ethan said. "The galaxy must have changed," Adea's Maya answered. She stood beside a large screen, watching the image that was sent from the alien ship, but not enough. "They still fear us." Leo placed his hand on a glass panel. It lit up and showed maps of space. "The council will come for us. They always do." Ryan nodded. "Then we prepare." The base was huge. Deep below the surface, it held everything the team would need. Ships, armor, energy cores, and knowledge from a time before the Great Silence. Robots moved through the halls, fixing and cleaning. Defense systems powered up. Above the base, Earth Prime looked calm. Forests grew over the old cities. Mountains covered the hidden doors. No one could see what was beneath. But soon, the galaxy would remember. Far from Earth's prime, a fleet of alien ships moved through space. These ships were fast and full of weapons. Their goal was clear: find the Deathworlders, end the threat before it grew. Commander Threll led the fleet. His face was hard and cold. "We strike first," he told his crew. "Do not let them rise." As the ships neared Earth Prime, the scanners failed. Static filled the screens. "Just like before, nothing worked." "They are jamming us," one officer said. "Stay sharp," Threll said. "Launch all drones." The sky over Earth Prime lit up with light. Alien ships came down fast, but before they touched the ground opened. Huge towers rose from the earth. Beams of light shot up. Alien ships exploded in midair. From the forest, Deathworlder ships rose into the sky, sleek, black, and silent. They moved like shadows. In moments, they reached the alien fleet. Ryan stood at the front of his ship. "No mercy," he said. The battle was short. Alien ships fired everything they had. But the Deathworlder tech was stronger, faster, smarter. One by one, the alien ships fell. Some tried to escape, most did not. Ryan's team teleported onto the alien command ship. The fight inside was quick. Ryan faced Commander Threll in the control room. "You came to destroy us," Ryan said. "You are a threat," Threll said. "The galaxy will not follow you." "We never wanted to lead," Ryan answered. "But we will not hide." Threll tried to reach for his weapon, but Ryan was faster. In seconds, it was over. Back on Earth Prime, the team studied the alien files. They found messages, records, and maps. The Council feared not their weapons, but their minds. "They think we will take control," Maya said. "Maybe we should," Leo said. Ryan looked out into space. "We need answers. We need the truth. It's time we reminded them who we really are." And with that, the Deathworlders began their journey into the stars once more. The galaxy could no longer pretend. The Deathworlders were back, and the proof was clear. The failed attack on Earth Prime had spread panic through the alien worlds. News of the crushed fleet and the strange, powerful technology shook every system. On the Council planet, the leaders met again. Their voices were louder now. Fear had turned into worry, and worry into rage. "They must be stopped," said Elder Roll. "How?" asked Wara. "Our ships failed. Our weapons were useless." "Then we use our minds," said a quiet voice. It came from Zura, a shadow figure who led the hidden circle. "Let us make them look like the enemy. Let the galaxy turn against them." Whispers filled the room. Lies were easier than truth. If the people feared the Deathworlders more than the Council, then power would stay with them. While the Council planned, the Deathworlders moved. Ryan and his team flew through space in the Raven Star, a sleek black ship with silent engines. Their goal was to gather more knowledge and prepare for what was coming. Maya sat at the front screen watching data flow. "There is a signal," she said. "A beacon from an old human base. It may still have records." Ryan nodded. "Set course." They arrived on a cold, broken moon. Dust covered the surface, and the sky was full of falling rocks. In the middle of the moon stood a tall tower. It leaned to one side, but the light at the top still blinked. Inside the tower, the halls were quiet. Machines long dead lined the walls. The group walked slowly. Each step echoed in the dark. Leo found the main room. "Here," he said. This was a command post. Maya worked fast, fingers moving over old keys. A screen lit up. Files began to load. She opened the first one and gasped. "Look at this," she said. "It is a report from the last war. It says we were winning. We had peace offers ready, but the council betrayed us." Ryan leaned in. "They feared us, even when we wanted peace." Ethan found another file. "This one shows they planned to freeze us, not for safety, but to erase us." Nora looked angry. "They lied to the galaxy, made us the monsters." Ryan stood still, his eyes locked on the screen. "Then we show the galaxy the truth." Back on the ship, Maya sent a coded message to trusted contacts. People who still believed in old human honor. The message carried facts, records, and images. It was sent to all corners of space. The results came fast. On several alien worlds, protests began. Citizens asked questions. Some leaders tried to shut them down. Others joined the call for truth. But not everyone wanted peace. On a desert planet, a group of warlords met. They wore heavy armor and spoke in deep voices. They had power, money, and armies. They had ruled for years without fear. "If the Deathworlders rise," one said, "we lose everything." "Then we strike," said another, not with words. With war, they built a new fleet. Dark ships filled with stolen tech. They trained armies with no name, no face. Their goal was simple: total control. Ryan and his team returned to Earth Prime. News from the galaxy reached them every hour.
Ow.
Some of it brought hope, some brought danger. "They are coming again," said Leo. "A bigger fleet, stronger than before." "Let them come," Ryan said. "We are ready." He walked to the war room. Maps glowed on the walls, plans filled the screens. This time, they would not hide. This time, they would lead. But Ryan also knew war was not the only path. He looked at the image of a young alien girl holding a sign that said peace. It reminded him of the mission, not just to fight, but to protect. He turned to his team. "We fight if we must, but we show them we are not monsters. We are protectors. Warriors of truth." Outside, the skies above Earth Prime were calm. But deep in space, fire was coming. And the Deathworlders would face it without fear. The sky over Earth Prime was still calm, but deep in space, danger was growing fast. A massive fleet of warships moved like a dark wave. These ships were built by the secret alliance of alien warlords. Their goal was not peace, it was control. They feared the truth that was spreading. They feared the Deathworlders. Inside one of those warships, General Vorn looked over the battle plan. He had sharp eyes and a voice that made others listen. He pointed at a map of the galaxy. "We strike Earth Prime. We crush their heart. We stop the truth before it grows." His officers nodded. They had no doubt. They had numbers, weapons, and speed. They believed the Deathworlders could not stand against them. But they were wrong. Back on Earth Prime, Ryan and his team prepared. The war room was full of maps, screens, and moving lines of light. The planet's defense systems were active. Ships waited in hidden places. Weapons were ready. But Ryan knew they needed more than strength. "We need allies," he said. Maya nodded. "Many alien worlds are watching. Some may help, but they are afraid." "Then we give them hope," Ryan said. "We show them the truth." Maya opened the old files again. Inside them was something powerful, a memory shard from a time long past. It held the voice of a human leader. Her name was Clara, and her words spoke of peace, unity, and truth. Ryan shared the message across the galaxy. It reached distant planets, hidden bases, and quiet villages. People listened. Some cried. Some stood up. The old truth gave them strength. In many places, small groups began to rise. They held the sign of the Deathworlders, not in fear, but in support. They called for peace. They asked their leaders to stop the coming war. On the planet Velrose, a young leader named Aron made a bold move. He spoke on livestream to his people. "We were told lies. The Deathworlders were not monsters. They were protectors. They were betrayed. We must not repeat the same mistake." His words spread fast. Other leaders joined him. Few sent messages to Earth Prime offering help. Ryan welcomed every message. He sent thanks and plans. He knew they could not stop the whole fleet alone. But with help, they had a chance. The enemy fleet drew closer. Their ships blocked starlight. Their weapons were charged, but the Deathworlders did not wait in fear. Inside the base, Nora checked the main defense grid. Shields are strong. Cannons are ready, she said. Ethan looked at the sky map. We only have a few hours, then we use them well, Ryan said. Leo and Maya worked on the control systems. They added secret codes, backdoors, and smart traps. The Deathworlders had learned from the past. This time, they would be ready. As the fleet arrived, the ground shook. Skies turned dark. Light from engines lit up the clouds. From orbit, the warlords sent a message. Surrender now, or be destroyed. Ryan answered with calm words. We will never surrender to fear. Then the battle began. Fire lit the skies. Ships flew in every direction. Blasts shook the ground. The Deathworlder ships moved fast, hitting and vanishing like shadows. Traps in space caught many enemy ships. Hidden mines exploded in perfect timing. On the surface, towers rose and fired beams of energy. Enemy dropships tried to land but were stopped by strong shields. Deathworlder warriors fought on the ground with skill and strength. Ryan led his team from the front. He moved through fire and smoke, guiding his people with clear orders. Nora and Ethan held the west line. Maya and Leo protected the central command. For hours, the battle raged. Then something changed. In the middle of the fight, one of the enemy ships broke formation. It sent a signal, a flag of peace. This is Captain Wren from the Valrose support fleet, the voice said. We are here to help. Cheers broke out inside the base. One by one, more ships joined. Allies came from different parts of the galaxy. They fired on the enemy and protected the planet. The warlords were shocked. The plan was falling. Their ships began to retreat. Ryan watched from his command post. We did not win because we were stronger, he said. We won because we told the truth. And truth brings light, even in the dark. The battle was not over yet, but a new hope had begun, and the Deathworlders were no longer alone. The last of the enemy ships ran into deep space. Their engines glowed red as they left the battlefield. Earth Prime was safe, but the fight was not over. The warlords who started the attack were still hiding. They had lost the battle, but they were not done yet. In the days that followed, Ryan and his team worked with their new allies. Together, they repaired damage, helped the wounded, and buried the lost. Many alien soldiers who once feared the Deathworlders now stood by their side. Ryan looked over a field where both human and alien flags flew together. This is what they were afraid of, he said. Not our strength, but our unity. Maya stepped beside him. The Council will not give up control so easily. Then we take it from them, Ryan said. The time had come to face the real enemy. The old Galactic Council had lied, controlled, and used fear to keep power. Now the truth had spread. Across the galaxy, people were rising. On many worlds, the Council was losing power. Ryan and his team flew to the Central System, home of the Council's oldest base. They brought with them ships from Valrose, allies from Darrow, and even former Council guards who had turned against their leaders. The Council's base was a giant station above a blue star. It was protected by old tech, but it was no match for the United Fleet. Ryan sent one message before the attack. Step down. Let the people speak. End the lies. The Council did not answer. The battle was short. Most of the Council's soldiers refused to fight. They surrendered or joined the attackers. A few still held on, but they were pushed back quickly. Inside the Council chamber, Ryan stood before the last leaders. They looked weak, their robes torn, their eyes full of fear. Why did you fear us so much? Ryan asked. One of them, a thin being with pale skin, spoke. Because you were not like us. You did not bend. You did not break. You grew stronger where others fell. We wanted peace, Ryan said. You chose control. Now that time is over. The leaders were taken away. The station was turned into a center for peace talks. Leaders from many worlds were invited. For the first time in 1,000 years, every voice had a place. Back on Earth Prime, life began to return to normal. Forests healed, skies cleared, people smiled again. Ryan and his team sat around a fire near the base. They shared food, laughed, and remembered those who were lost. Leo looked at the stars. Do you think they will ever forget the fear? Maybe, Maya said. But they will also remember the truth, Nora smiled. We showed them who we really are. Ethan raised a cup to truth, to unity, and to never hiding again. Ryan looked into the fire. We were born on a hard world. We learned to fight, to survive, to lead. We did not ask for war, but we did not run from it. Now, we built something better. In the following weeks, new leaders were chosen. Some were humans, others were from different alien races. Together, they wrote a new code, a set of rules for peace, fairness, and freedom. The Deathworlders were no longer seen as monsters. They were now protectors, guides, and symbols of hope. Their name became a mark of strength and honor. One day, a child from a distant world visited Earth Prime. She walked through the base, looking at the statues of the heroes who fought for truth. She saw Ryan and ran to him. "Are you the man from the story?" she asked. Ryan knelt down. "Wait, I am one of them." "Did you fight the warlords?" "Yes, but more important, we fought for peace." The girl smiled. "I want to be like you." Ryan smiled back. Then never stop asking questions, never stop standing for what is right. As the stars shined above and peace settled over the galaxy, the Deathworlders watched. They did not rule, they did not force, they protected. And in the shadows where fear once lived, hope now burned bright. The galaxy was no longer afraid. The Deathworlders had emerged, not as enemies, but as the light in the dark.